4, 3, 2, 1.
Studio Classroom is recording.
Studio Classroom. Studio Classroom.
Please stand by.
Studio Classroom is on the air.
Hello and welcome to Studio Classroom on the air. I know your English will improve today. My name is Gabe, and I'm very glad you're joining us for today's very unique lesson. Now, what kind of art do you like? Paintings, drawings, sculptures, music, theater, dance, movies, and animations? I just listed some of the more popular kinds of art out there, but there's so much more to the art world, right? But what about community art? That's the name of today's lesson, community art. What is that? Paintings of communities and groups of people? Or is it something else? Let's find out with this very encouraging and inspiring lesson.
Community art. Painting the way to more joyful and healthy communities. Cities are a world of convenience. In cities, people have access to a tremendous number of resources. Public transportation, well-equipped hospitals and social services contribute to comfortable living. But services don't make up for the fact that big cities are often lonely, impersonal places. People can easily isolate themselves from others. Creating a sense of community then becomes imperative. Some psychologists say that community art made to be displayed free of charge in a particular community, can make a big difference. Unlike the random graffiti that many people consider an eyesore, community art can bring people together and encourage respect.
Hi everyone, welcome to Language Lab. 首先我们看 impersonal 这个形容词 I am 是否定的字首 Personal 是指个人的或亲自的，所以 impersonal 在这里是指没有人情味的或冷淡的。例如 Some people think leaving messages on answering machines is too impersonal, so they would just hang up. 有些人觉得留言在电话打录机上过度没有人情味，他们会直接挂断。Impersonal 也指客观的，或者是不受到个人感受或偏见影响的。例如 As a political commentator, Richard tries to make his remarks as impersonal as possible. 身为政治评论家 Richard 尽量让自己的言论不要有个人色彩。接下来我们看 graffiti 这个名词 Graffiti 是指公众场合墙上或门上的涂鸦。例如 The walls of this abandoned building are covered with graffiti. 这个废弃的大楼的墙上布满了涂鸦。或者是 The graffiti on the wall of the Marine Park is the work of a famous graffiti artist from New Orleans. 这个海洋公园墙上的涂鸦是来自纽奥良著名涂鸦画家的作品。或者是 The racist graffiti is an indication of serious racial problems in this area. 这些种族歧视字眼的涂鸦显示出这个区域严重的种族问题。
Thank you very much, Michelle. Friends, let's talk about community art. This is a very unique lesson. I'm excited to talk about this. I was excited to learn about it and read about some of the ways that communities are coming together. And who knew how much art could bring people together? Had you ever thought about that before, Carolyn? Art bringing people together?
Well, art has a lot of different purposes, and there are different kinds of art that can bring people together. A theater performance might bring people together as they come to watch a story be played out and make them think about things differently. But sure, community art, which is painting things can also bring people together. I actually remember when I was in elementary school, my city had a community art project, and I got to be involved as one of the students from the elementary school just across the street from a wall that was being painted by people from all over town.
So then what was your role in this community art project as an elementary schooler?
Well, I got to take a paintbrush and paint a little thing on the wall. I don't remember what I painted. I did not consider myself an artist, but it was just really fun to be involved outside with lots of other people, helping to bring this piece of art to life.
That's really cool. And that's kind of what our lesson is about here, this idea. Carolyn also mentioned, when people come together to watch a show, and actually in communities, some communities, there is community theater. Okay, so actors and actresses come together to perform or to put on a show. But here we're talking about community art, painting the way to more joyful and healthy communities. Now, paint the way to something is not an actual phrase that we use in English, but I think our author is having fun. Dave Morton is having fun with another phrase that is very common, and that is to pave the way. Paving the road is making the road smooth so you can get smoothly from one place to another. Well, this means to prepare the way for something.
That's right. I really like the way he wrote this, painting the way to more joyful and healthy communities. And he does mean paving the way, making that possible. A common way that we use the phrase pave the way is we are paving the way to a brighter future. We're trying to make a better future possible.
Well, we certainly hope we are trying to make a better future possible for people. And if you're an artist in some way, then maybe you can take part in a community project like this. Painting the way to more joyful and healthy communities. Cities are a world of convenience. I like how David starts out with this contrast. He's contrasting cities, which everybody thinks of as being very convenient places and with a lot of services, to maybe community and things that, because a lot of times people don't necessarily come together to do something together. If you're living in a city, everyone is living their own personal lives.
That's right. He writes that public transportation, well-equipped hospitals, and social services contribute to comfortable living, but services don't make up for the fact that big cities are often lonely, impersonal places. So they may be convenient and comfortable, but it might be hard to find community and even know the names of your neighbors.
Exactly. Okay, so none of these great things, none of this convenience, none of these services make up for the fact that big cities are often lonely. And we want to take a look at that phrase, to make up for something. Okay, this means to provide enough good where something is lacking. Okay, so there's something good lacking, but we want to provide enough good so that it doesn't matter. It's okay. We've made up for it.
You could also use this when talking about an assignment at school. Maybe you missed a test in class, but your teacher says you can make up for it by doing an extra writing assignment at home.
That's another way to use that phrase. Think of another situation where you could use that phrase, friends. But yes, people can easily isolate themselves from others. That means you're just doing your own personal thing. You're not around other people when you're isolating yourself.
Right, and we see here that some psychologists say that community art made to be displayed free of charge in a particular community, can make a big difference, and it can be very beautiful.
Okay, well, you know what? We have a picture here of some art, some community art, or at least a mural here in Philadelphia. This is beautiful, okay? Then we read here, unlike the random graffiti that many people consider an eyesore, take a look at those two things. Here's some graffiti, 涂鸦, right, in Chinese. Now, some people think this is beautiful. I think it could be, but I think something is definitely an eyesore if it looks bad, if it makes the environment or the surroundings look bad, like this trash can on an otherwise nice-looking sidewalk. This is an eyesore.
Sure, that is an eyesore. But there are lots of places in cities, and we want to learn about one of them in the info
Info
cloud.
Hello, friends, and welcome to InfoCloud. Joe, you like to spend time at cafes, don't you?
Absolutely. You can almost always find me sitting in a cafe, hanging out, drinking coffee, and chatting with friends or reading a book.
I think that's true for a lot of people, and that's why there are so many cafes in big cities. We sometimes refer to cafes or coffee shops as the third place.
This is a place other than your home or workplace that you can go to relax or to meet people. The term was created by sociologist Ray Oldenburg in the 1980s.
He argued that healthy communities need inviting places for people to get together. But the concept really took off because of Starbucks.
Starbucks started to use the concept of the third place when designing their cafes. When you think of Starbucks, you are just as likely to think of their comfy chairs as you are their coffee.
This kind of environment encourages people to stay, even if they only buy 1 cup of coffee.
The cafe then becomes a space that feels as familiar as one's own home or workplace. It's a third place where you can interact with friends or relax with a good book.
很多人喜欢到咖啡厅去享受安静悠闲的时光，我们可以称呼这个地方为 the third place， 第三场所。为什么叫第三场所呢？因为除了工作的地方和家里之外，你最能够放松和交朋友的第三个地方就是 third place。这个概念是由社会学家 Ray Oldenburg 在80年代所提出的。Oldenburg 提倡一个健康的社区，需要使人感到内心温暖的空间，让人可以聚集。不过有趣的是 ，the third place 这个概念最后是由 Starbucks 星巴克成功的推广到世界各地。不晓得你有没有属于自己的 third place 呢？这就是今天的 InfoCloud， 我们下次云端见。
Studio Classroom is on the air.
Friends, today our lesson is called Community Art, and we've been talking about cities. Okay, cities have great services, but sometimes people still feel lonely. Sometimes cities can be impersonal places, right? That's where community art can play a very important role. It can make a difference. Let's find out about some community art in the city of Philadelphia now.
Community art. In the U.S. city of Philadelphia, for example, psychologists are doing a citywide project where mental health patients work with average people to paint murals. The aim of this project is to reduce the stigma of mental illness and promote a new dialogue about people who struggle with these issues. Art also makes neighborhoods more attractive and has a unique ability to open people up. Neighbors can share comments on a recently painted mural, which can challenge their prejudices and open their eyes to the world. Love thy neighbor is a tough job for everyone. But if a little extra color can make cities warmer, more welcoming places, then let's grab some brushes and get to work.
OK， 继续我们看 stigma 这个名词 ，S-T-I-G 这个字根有刺的意思，所以 stigma 是指耻辱、恶意的标签或污名。例如 ，the stigma of being divorced has declined in recent years。 离婚的污名化在过去这些年来已经渐渐的淡化，或者是 even if there's no proof of the politician taking bribes, the stigma still remains. 即使没有证据证明这位政治人物有收受贿赂，但是污名仍然存在。或者是 in the past, women who couldn't bear children used to carry the stigma all their lives. 在过往无法生育的女性一生都要背负着耻辱。最后我们看 prejudice 这个名词 ，pre 这个字首有先前的意思 ，jud 这个字根是指评断，所以 prejudice 事先的判断，意思就是指偏见或成见。例如 ，the prejudice against female workers is slowly diminishing, but it still exists in some places. 对于女性员工的偏见渐渐的消失，但是在某些地方仍然存在。Prejudice 也可以当动词，意思是使有成见或者是使偏袒。例如 Nicole's terrible relationship with her father prejudiced her against men. Nicole 和父亲恶劣的关系让她对男性产生偏见。它的过去分词 prejudiced 可以当作形容词，意思是指有偏见的。例如 African Americans have been fighting prejudiced views against them for centuries. 几世纪以来，非裔美人一直都在对抗人们对于他们的偏见。And now let's get back to the teachers.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Well, let's continue here learning about community art. And this is taking place in a lot of places around the world in different countries. But we just have time for one example in our lesson, and that is in Philadelphia. In the U.S. city of Philadelphia, for example, psychologists are doing a citywide project where mental health patients work with average people to paint murals. So people of very different backgrounds coming together to paint murals just like the one you saw earlier. But let's take a look at this word. It's actually part of the word citywide, right? Something wide. This means including the whole something. So including the whole city.
You can use this word wide at the end of other words, not just city, citywide. You could say that something is popular nationwide. Maybe your business wants to expand nationwide. Or maybe a product is popular worldwide. You can find it all over the world.
And of course, in Philadelphia, they have the citywide project to hook up these people, okay, to get them connected to each other. Mental health patients working with average people to paint murals. Now, Carolyn, you mentioned earlier that you took part in painting a mural as an elementary school kid.
Yes.
So what is a mural? Is that like it's not just a regular painting, right? It's like on a wall.
Sure, it's on a wall, and it's usually several images that are kind of put together to make one big picture.
It's so cool. Murals can be amazing. All right, so the aim of this project is to reduce the stigma of mental illness and promote a new dialogue about people who struggle with these issues. Okay, so let's take a look at something from this sentence, and that is just the simple word dialogue. Carolyn and I are having a conversation. We're having a dialogue, and friends do that as well, but it's used a little bit differently in this context. So this is a public conversation topic, all right? That's what the word dialogue means here in our lesson.
Right. People have dialogues about many different topics. One popular dialogue right now is that people want to discuss the dangers of using screens at a young age. So they're having a dialogue about whether or not kids should have cell phones.
And that's a great dialogue to have. Friends, what is a controversial issue, but perhaps it's an issue that people should be discussing? Well, that's a dialogue that is happening in your society, okay? So we continue here. Art also makes neighborhoods more attractive, of course, and has a unique ability to open people up. And that's great. If a person opens up, that means they're willing to let others know them. They're willing to let others in a way.
And this might take some time. People don't always open up right away. For example, I met someone and it took almost a year of being friends before he opened up about what his past was like. Or you might meet someone and they are so friendly, they tell you everything about their lives. They open up right away.
Those are some great examples. So what about you, friends? What kind of a person are you? Do you open up right away, or does it take a little bit of time for you to open up? Well, we see a picture of people right here working together to doing some community art. Let's jump down a few lines. We read, "Love thy neighbor is a tough job for everyone, but if a little extra color can make cities warmer, more welcoming places, then let's grab some brushes and get to work."
That sounds like such a great idea. I love the idea of community art, and I also love the idea of watching a review skit.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Hey. So how do you like living in the city?
Oh, well, it's convenient.
Oh, yeah. Cities are a world of convenience. We have access to a tremendous number of resources.
Yeah, that's why it's convenient.
Yeah, public transportation, hospitals, social services, they all contribute to comfortable living.
Yeah, they do. But big cities are often lonely.
So true.
Yeah.
People can easily isolate themselves from others.
Yeah.
So creating a sense of community becomes imperative.
Community? Imperative?
Yeah, it's a must. You know, psychologists say that community art can make a big difference.
Community art? Oh, you mean like random graffiti?
Oh, no, not graffiti. That's an eyesore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm talking about art that is displayed free of charge in a particular neighborhood.
Oh, free art? Well, that's nice.
Yeah. Community art can bring people together and encourage respect.
Oh, so where does the free artwork come from?
Well, some comes from mental health patients.
Oh.
Yeah, they work together with others to paint murals.
Mental health patients? Really?
Yeah. The aim is to reduce the stigma of mental illness, and it promotes dialogue with people who struggle with these issues.
Yeah. Oh, and art makes neighborhoods more attractive, too.
Yes. And art has a unique ability to open people up.
Get neighbors talking and share comments and open our eyes to the world.
Yeah. You can get to know and love your neighbors.
I like that, but it can be a little tough.
Well, yeah, but a little extra color can really make our city more welcoming.
That's true. Hey, maybe I can help you.
Yeah, all right. Then let's, here, have a brush.
Great.
Yeah. Or you can just start over
Thanks.
here, and I'll just find another one.
Well, friends, I was thinking maybe we should all try to get rid of the eyesores in our neighborhoods, like this garbage container here, and come together to create something beautiful. Community art. It sounds like a wonderful idea. We have something different to learn about next time right here on Studio Classroom. It has to do with that famous little book, The Little Prince. Do come back then right here to Studio Classroom.
A friend endures at all times. A good friend lasts a lifetime. I am so proud to have you in my life. A good friend lasts a lifetime.